So, hold up, there's a cat climbing. Now get down. Go. Shh. Can you get? And she just. Alright, that's the intro now. So, I've got something very exciting for this video. I'm just closing that. This is going to be a multi-review, as I'm going to call it, for my Blokees figures. We're going to start from smallest to biggest. This is going to be like the Blokees extravaganza or something. We're going to start out with Blokees Galaxy Defender. Whoa. Actually, not really. Blokees Galaxy Defender Thundercracker. Oh, he's covered in rabbit hair. And my hair. How did that happen? Let's get him in a cool pose for the camera. Because these dudes are, like, really hyper-posable for their size. Right, so. This is Galaxy Defender Thundercracker. And for the other Galaxy Defender figures, we've got Scavenger, Shatterglass Sideswipe, and Prowl. We're going to go from favorite to least favorite. So obviously, as I just said, starting with Thundercracker. So this is one of the main free Seekers. I don't have Starscream and Skywarp yet. I don't think they've done a Defender Skywarp. And I don't have any of the version 2 Defender figures. Yeah. There is no transformation, so we don't have to worry about that. It's not turning. But we will go over accessories and articulation. So in terms of accessories, he's got little no rays here, just attached by a peg. They can be removed. He can't hold them, though. But, I mean, he technically can, but on his shoulders. And for articulation, these dudes are like 2.5 inches tall, I think. And yet, you've got a ball joint at the head, so he can look down that far, up that far. Not that great for flying poses. Got side-to-side tilt, and I don't think he can go to full 360 because of these things behind his head, but... Oh, wait, no, never mind, it can. Goes full 360, both ways. Like that. So, yeah. And then the shoulders go out that far with the no rays on. But if you take no rays off, it will come off. Then go out more than all the way. And then go not really a full 360 because of the wings. And unlike the Galaxy Diversion Seekers, you can't... Galaxy version, not the version. Unlike the Galaxy version Seekers, you can't take the individual wings off. But then you've got like the tiniest bit more than 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. And then you've also got a 360 rotation at the bicep because of it's a ball joint. Then you've got a ball joint at the wrist so it can do all your wiggling and then also rotate full 360. And then for the waist, his is a little limited again because of the wings, but it can move that far in each direction. Hips forward that far, so all the way. Well, not really all the way. They go forward that far, but if you want to move them all the way up, they kind of go out to the side of it, just because of how all this is designed. And then you've got 90 degrees bend at the knee. Ankle can move forward, back, swivel a little bit, and you've got a decent tilt. So I chose him for the articulation because he's the most standard, I'd say, of the 4 Defender version figures I have. I don't have my phone on a proper stand right now. It's just propped up on a few boxes. Next up, Scavenger. So in terms of accessories, Scavenger's got a little gun. All 3 of these other guys come with the exact same little handheld gun. And unlike Thundercracker, his waist can go full 360, and his arms can go full 360. But his head can only rotate about that far, but if you tilt it and then move it, it can go farther. Because there's a slot in the bucket arm right there. And his head's cuboid, so it kind of hits that. But when you tilt it, you can move it past. But then you kind of have to click it out of place. Yeah, that's Scavenger. Next up, Sideswipe. Shatterglass Sideswipe. He's my favorite in terms of looks, but he's not my favorite to mess with. Again, same handheld gun, except this time he's also got his shoulder cannon. It can be removed, I just don't want to because it's a ball joint and removing, and I've had bad experiences where I had figures I removed the ball joint accessories on constantly and they broke. Yeah. His articulation is just Thundercracker, except his waist and shoulders aren't limited. Now my least favorite, and least favorite by a lot, Little Prowl. And it's simply because of, it's literally probably just a problem with my copy. His joints are way too tight for messing with him to be fun, except for in the legs. Those are fine. And his head is just way too limited. Like, that's as far up he can look. And he can look down that much. And there's almost no tilt to it. And it's just really tight and awkward to grab, and these spikes just kind of dig into your hands and fingers. I don't like it. Yeah, that's Galaxy Defender. We have a... Oh, I almost forgot. I need to get this on here. But for Galaxy version, we've got a lot more than 4, I think. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I say Galaxy Defender? This is Galaxy. This is just normal Galaxy version. Alright, so again, we're going to go favorite to least favorite. So we're going to start with Shining version Sunstorm. If I turn my lights off, you can see that he lights up decently well. The eyes don't light up that much, but I love how fiery the cockpit looks with him on. But in terms of accessories, he's got no race. Not going to remove him because ball joints. And wait, hold on. I almost forgot. These dudes come with extra stuff. Oh. So let me grab all of Sunstorm's stuff real quick. He doesn't come with too much that I need to grab. So, the 2 Shining figures I have are both going to come with basically the same stand in different colors. So, Sunstorm came with this purple stand. It's got Blokees on it, and you can attach blast effects or flight stands into it. I don't have any flight stands, but I do have blast effects that you'll see with my classic class figure later on in the video. Then the Shining version comes with Energon Cube, and all Galaxy versions come with an extra pair of open hands to make the character more expressive. That one decided to jump. Stop rotating. So, for articulation, Sunstorm can look up that far, down that far. Got a good range of side-to-side tilt, I'd say, for this character. And head can go full, and head can rotate to that degree. Arms, shoulders can go out all the way. Shoulder pads move a bit, and these are on ball joints, so they just kind of do whatever they want. You've got an amazing range at the elbow, going way past 90 degrees. And you've got ball joint here at the wrist. The arm articulation on all of these guys is the exact same. And then they've got a little extra bit of articulation just to get bonus poses. You can shift them down. And you can shift them forward and back a little bit. But you can't do a full 360. But as I said earlier, these guys can remove the individual wings. So you can take this back piece off, remove the wing, put it back on, and then you've got a full 360 motion. And plus, I prefer Sunstorm without these wings on the back. If I had Acid Storm from the Shining Series 01, I'd leave the wings on because he just looks really cool with them. Sunstorm, though, he's one of my favorite figures for expressive poses. So to get those expressive poses, expressive poses, I just kind of take those off. So we're gonna move away from Sunstorm now. I'll show you. He's not my favorite for expressive posing. That one is actually coming up next. In my second favorite, let me grab his accessories. Oh yeah, real quick, I forgot to mention. Both Galaxy version and Galaxy Defender dudes all come with little cards. This is Sunstorm's. So Shattered Glass Optimus Prime is up next. He looks amazing. He's my favorite to pose and favorite to look at. Storm just feels better than him. But we'll take a full look at him in a second because I need to grab his accessories. Because I forgot how much accessories these guys come with, and like an idiot, I forgot to prepare for the video. So hold up. For some reason, all of my other basic Galaxy version characters came with normal Blokees stands. But the Blokees logo is in... I'm going to get flamed in the comments if I get this wrong. It's either Japanese or Chinese. I have no idea, but look. It says Blokees right there. In that language, I think. But in terms of accessories, he comes with 3 different hands. Because I think this is the same thing for all of the Optimus Prime figures. Oh, there's an ant on the table. Hello. I'm gonna let him live. Look, he comes with the normal open hands, but he also comes with this pointing hand because I don't know why. I heard that the Galaxy version Bumblebee also comes with a thumbs up hand. Comes with the Iron Blaster in gray, like a lighter gray than I think the normal Optimus has. And then obviously his stand. His stand is different than the Shining version ones, as you may notice. And once I bring in the other normal Galaxy Defender ones, not Defender, Galaxy version, I'll show you that these stands can all connect to each other. Alright, so, articulation. He really can't look up, but I don't really care because he's still really fun to pose. You can look down that far, decent amount of tilt, head goes full 360, waist goes full 360. I don't know if I... Oh my god, I'm an idiot! I forgot to do... Alright, look, real quick. This dude. Hips, go forward that far. Go back that far. Hold up. Yeah. Knees, bend past 90. Forward, back, swivel, and tilt. Yeah. I don't know how I forgot that. Yeah, back to him. Shoulders shift up and down. This smokestack actually snapped off and I had to glue it back on. There's hair on all of these. Right there. But I think I got it decently lined back up. Anyways, I'm gonna use this arm. Shift up and down. You have to shift him. You have to shift his down to move him up. His can't move out all the way, which sucks. Past 90 degrees. Same range at the wrist. Hips. Let's move the arm out of the way. Hips go forward that far. Back that far. I heard that some of the new classic class guys have drop down hips. Knees can bend past 90. You got tilt going both ways. That's on all of them. Back that far, forward that far, and a little bit of swivel. He's my favorite to pose just because of how he looks. Alright, next up, let's see. We're going to leave his stand up there because the next one is going to have one of them same stands. Next up, let's see. I don't remember. We're going to go Scavenger. Scavenger. Let me grab his accessories. He doesn't have that many. He's just got these bits and a stand. So I've left his stand up here for a reason. So you've got his stand, right? Blokees. These stands can connect. So you can connect them and display them next to each other. And back to Scavenger though. I have 2 Constructicons. I have Bone Crusher and Scavenger. He's my favorite of the 2. This is a little loose, which is really annoying. But you can. But in terms of accessories, open hands, seen them, and this little gun. Something that also annoys me about Scavenger. He holds the gun really loosely in both hands. And I don't know why. Now in terms of articulation, you can look up that far, down that far. Not much tilt, but it's like, that's about as expressive as I expect Scavenger to be. Now this, has 3 points of articulation. You can move that down all the way. You can move that like this. And the scoop moves in that much. Now arms, you can, again, shift up and down. His shoulder pads actually do that when you shift them up as far as they can go, and I actually like how that looks, and I keep Bone Crushers flat. Anyways, full 360, forward and back. You can bend past 90, same range at the thing. 360 at the waist, same range in all these joints as Prime. So, I'm going to move all of this stuff out of the way. Cliffjumper and Sunstorm stands can also connect, by the way. Thought I should mention that. Speaking of Cliffjumper, next up, Shining version of 1 Cliffjumper. His lights are completely dead. Yeah. But he actually came with a little extra thing that none of the others did. And it's like my favorite accessory that any of the Blokees figures had came with. Come on. I keep these Blokees figures in like an organized Pokemon box thing. So, in terms of accessories, almost done grabbing them. It comes with this yellow stand, his rocket launcher, Energon Cube. I love the Energon Cubes, I want more of them. He comes with a pair of open hands, and one of the open hands is actually on them. And my favorite accessory any of these Blokees figures has ever came with, this little blast effect. It is compatible with most of the guns, like if I bring in Shattered Glass Primes, plugs right in. Bring in a Constructicon gun. Oh wait, there's no port on it. Guess what? It slides over it. That is, like, amazing. This is the only blast effect I have with any of my Transformers in general. But, before we do his articulation, I do want to say something about him. Color matching from the head to the torso ain't the best, or at least the front bit of the torso, because they had to paint it, because it's molded out of this clear plastic. And another problem I have with him is that I've had this guy for less than a year, and yet, look at that. It's like a wheel on a Hot Wheels car. Nothing, it's like gone. I can't have him in a dynamic pose anymore without that moving around. Which is why I don't get him out for display. But he used to be my favorite one until I got Sunstorm. And then I got Scavenger, and he just kept getting knocked down. But in terms of articulation, he's got an amazing range looking up in the head compared to the others. And I think that's about as much as he needs. He can look down that far. Amazing amount of tilt. I just love his articulation. Head goes full 360. Shoulders go out just barely, not all the way. They go all the way, except the shoulder pad can't go all the way. Same range at the elbows. These guys have basically the same articulation. So I'm not going to go over his, and plus his is just... Man, that sucks. This is why he's so down low in my favorites. Gotta move all his stuff out of the way, so I can show you something real quick. These stands have a lot more connectivity to them. You can slot them in like that, or you can slot them in, well, like that, and use them as like bases to make whole battle scenes and stuff. Next up in terms of the favorites, we've got, hold up, gotta grab his stuff. He doesn't come with a whole lot. I think that's everything. We've got, back to the wrong stand, Tarn. So, again, he has one of the open hands on, because I like to have these guys displayed. One of his that same Thigh Swivel is starting to come loose. I don't think I ever touched on the Thigh Swivel yet. These dudes have Thigh Swivels that go full 360. But, moving on, his accessories. He's got the fusion cannon, and the extra hands, and the stand. In the instructions, it doesn't say anything about this being his arm cannon. In the instructions he came with, it just says to plug it into his back and call it a day. But I'm not stupid, so I put it on his arm. But in terms of posability, he looks really cool, by the way. I just love how Tarn looks in general. He can look decent range up, I guess. Look down, tilt side to side. Now, you think that because all of this, his head would be limited, and you'd be correct. It can only look that far off to his left, and that far off to his right. And then same range here, except he can't move these up and down because of the way his torso is constructed to make him look beefier. Arms go out that far. They go full 360. And they can do this. But other than that, same range in the limbs. And my least favorite of the Blokees Galaxy version figures, to get his things out, is, sucks to say this, but it's most definitely gotta be Bone Crusher. Ow. I just don't like Bone Crusher as a character in general. Like, I mean, he's cool, but because he's a Constructicon, but I just don't like him. He's my least favorite of all the Constructicons. And I've had 4 duplicates of this guy while trying to find Soundwave, and I still haven't found Soundwave. What? Why is it this Vice Swivel on every one of them that's starting to come loose? That's annoying. Well, I like to keep his shoulder pads flat. Anyways, articulation, that far up, that far down, tilt, side to side, full 360. It's the same. Articulation gets kind of boring on these dudes, but he's got this. I don't know if that's important at all because I haven't finished watching G1 yet. I'm on Season 2, Episode 5. And then once I finish Season 2, I'm watching the movie, and then Season 3. Yep. Get out of here. Get out of my face. Alright, his accessories. He comes with closed hands, and I have his open hands on him, and the same gun as Scavenger. I gave a few of my duplicates away to friends, by the way. I only have one left, and it's still disassembled. But now we're moving on to the big guy. Let me get his accessories, because he's got quite a bit, actually. My one and only classic class figure. I was never able to find the Megatron, but I have the classic class 2007 Optimus Prime. Look at how beautiful. Oh, he's in a. I can't really say look at how beautiful because he's in like the weirdest pose right now. Yeah, let me get him into a. Get back up here. Let me get him into a pose. Like, I just love how he looks. Now, he also lit up in that little chest cavity and in his eyes, but the lights are. They're gone. I haven't gotten batteries for him or Cliff Jumper yet. But he's one where I can actually go into depth into the articulation. Let's go. So, for articulation, he can look up that far, look down that far, tilt side to side to an amazing degree. Oh, that's never happened before. But to an amazing degree. I love that. And his head can only go that far, but how much farther would you need it to go? Shoulders, these move out of the way when you move them out, but they can go out that far. Got bicep swivel, full 360. Go full 360 here, both ways. A little more than 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Not as much as the Galaxy version figures. Wrist swivels all the way and can bend down. Waist, full 360, both ways. However, if you push on his back too hard, it will just kind of pop. His legs, the range of motion in specifically his hips is a little disappointing. Why is my table shaking so much? Stop. Move forward that far. Move forward. Backward that far. They can go. And then they can only go out. But, oh, wait, they went out all the way. Why did they do that? They've never went out all the way. Okay, never mind. I like that hip articulation now. Knees, 90, little tiny bit less than 90 degrees. Then you move feet forward that far, back that far, tilt side to side, and rotate a bit. He was my favorite to build just because I like long building processes that I can, like, watch Markiplier while doing. Now, he comes with 2 of these stands. Same kind of stands that Sunstorm and Cliff Jumper came with, and you can connect them. I've seen with other class figures that they came with stickers to put over the stands. I don't know if Optimus came with that, and I never saw any stickers. But he's got his little gun. Gonna give that to him real quick, just because he looks cool with it. Then he's got his energon blades, just cast out of clear plastic, and to attach them, you don't just like plug them in. You have to take this casing on his arm off, and then there's this little peg in there. Focus, right there, that this hole in the energon blade will go onto. Then you just reattach the casing. Make sure you have it one-handed right, and you've got Optimus with an energon blade. I'm gonna get him posed up on the stand for this next part. Oh, by the way, I am missing one of his hands. He's supposed to have a pair of these opening hands, and I'm missing one. I lost it somewhere. But I'd like to mention that I hate these open hands. I've never used them, because they're just ugly. They've got a bunch of plastic in between the fingers. And I know that's so that the fingers don't snap off, but I just hate it. But for his next part, I'm going to get him posed up. Which, by the way, as you may notice, his elbow's purple. It's because his knee snapped. And, apparently the knees from I couldn't just use the knees from these dudes. Like, even if I separated the knee in half and tried to use one bit, because it was facing the wrong way. So what I did was I used his elbow, and then I took one of the elbow pieces from that extra bone crusher I still have disassembled. Which, by the way, there's that extra bone crusher if you were wondering. Anyways, so he's also got these, which I mentioned earlier. He's got little blast effects that you can put onto the stand in these little ports. Make it look like there's fire around him. Like, just attach those near his feet, and boom, you've got Optimus in a really nice looking pose. Like, even just, he's basically really just standing there with his weapons, and it just looks really cool. I love Bayverse Optimus. He's one of my favorite designs. He's the one I grew up with, actually. But that's going to do it for this Blokees review. I am going to be getting more Blokees figures soon, hopefully. Red Alert is one I'm really hoping to get from the Galaxy version, because I can't find Sideswipe, but I keep seeing Red Alert loose everywhere with all this stuff. But yeah, we've got more Blokees figures to come, and later on today, I will be posting, probably not today, probably tomorrow, I'll be posting more videos of Transformers. Today I'm actually going to be doing some other non-Transformers related videos, but look out for those. I am really looking forward to getting back to YouTube. It's gonna be a few uploads every Saturday, shorts, long form, whatever. Sorry to keep y'all waiting. I've just been kind of burnt out, if I'm being completely honest. Thank you all for all the views on that video about Kono, the dog we were taking care of. I'll be posting another update video on him soon, like today, because I want to tell y'all some very exciting news about him. Anyways, that's gonna conclude this Blokees review. I hope y'all really enjoyed. Hope this helped if you are planning on buying some. I will see you all later. Goodbye.